First of all, I want to assure you this is a short story, so bear with me. You may have heard of a movie called The Horse Whisperer. I'm kind of like the main character in that movie, except I'm called the man who pets coyotes. Way back in the 1980s, my dad and I would hunt turkeys near Osceola, Missouri. At least once or twice a month, we would spend a weekend hunting and fishing along Gallinipper Creek. On this particular trip, my dad invited a young friend he worked with named Butch to enjoy some wild turkey hunting. In those days, you could camp along the Gallinipper. A Gallinipper, by the way, are those flying insects you sometimes see that look like giant mosquitoes. Most are over an inch long and perfectly harmless. Well, anyway, I digress. After a night of camping on the Gallinipper, we got up early before dawn and headed into the woods to pick out our hunting spot. The spot you want to pick is a large clearing in the woods with lots of scraped out areas in the leaves, a sign that turkeys have been looking for acorns to eat. The clearing also serves as a place for male turkeys to strut and fan their tails during mating season. I went to my usual spot where I'd bagged turkeys before. Hunting usually starts at sunrise. A turkey call is a good thing to have as it attracts turkeys. To make a short story even shorter, this hunt was proving to be unfruitful. After sitting on the edge of my clearing and calling turkeys for about 3 hours, not one sign of a turkey. I thought, well, I might as well stay at it, as doing nothing is sure to be a waste of time. I hit a lick on my call and saw a coyote stick his head up from a ravine across the clearing and slightly to the left. He popped his head back down. This might be the reason I was seeing no turkeys in the area, I said to myself. If he sticks his head up one more time, I'm going to bust him. He did, and I did. I went over to look at him for good measure. And by the way, coyotes are considered open season species year-round in Missouri. There are so many, it's not unusual to see them without any hair at all on them due to outbreaks of mange. The coyote I saw was wet and stunk badly. He had just swam the Gallinipper arm of Truman Lake. The hunting did not improve. After an hour or so, I began to get bored. I decided to get up and look at the coyote again. He had dried out, and I couldn't even tell he had been shot. He no longer stank either. I got an idea. I took the coyote and I placed him in the clearing about 15 feet from me. I propped him up with sticks in a sitting position, much like a dog would sit. His tongue was sticking out at an odd angle, so I took a stick and poked it back in his mouth so it would look kind of natural. After about an hour, rigor mortis had set in, and I was able to remove the sticks propping him up. At about 1 p.m., my dad's buddy Butch approached my clearing and saw the coyote sitting in front of me. He stopped, and his mouth dropped open. He had a surprised and perplexed look on his face. This was my cue. I jumped up and walked over to the coyote and began petting him. Butch said, "Boy, you sure have a way with animals." After about 30 seconds or so, he said, "Oh, he's dead, isn't he?" I chuckled and said yes. I tell these stories and I'm sure no one believes me. That's why I have the photo.